What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, boys. Got old Red up on the lift. So look, I've got to do a little preventative maintenance and do a few checks on the 92. So I wanted to double check the header bolts, which I haven't done recently. And suffice to say, these things just don't come loose. I don't know why, but the header bolts on our Coyote cars don't come loose. Pop's car, you'll be driving down the road and hear the bolts fall out. Damn. Come on, baby. I'm not really sure why, but it's definitely ideal. And one thing I will say about these Speed Engineering headers, I can get a socket on every one of these things. Like every one. It's pretty epic. It ain't really loose, I'm just cranking them a little harder just to be sure. Can't ever have them too tight, I guess. I don't know. Come on, baby, get on there. So the other issue I've been dealing with this car is it cranks up perfect when the car's cold, lukewarm, all of that. But if I've been driving it for a while, and let's say I stop and, run in the gas station, get a drink, or, whatever, the car doesn't want to restart. So while I was doing everything else, checked all the grounds. I did find two that were slightly loose, not anything crazy. I'm assuming just, from vibration and stuff. But tighten those up, feel like everything should be good. And remember, this is the second brand new starter I've had to put on this car. And I don't know if we just keep getting junk or what exactly the issue is, but once we get back to the house, I'll know if it's fixed. Hopefully it is. If not, I do have some other ideas, but we'll kind of cover that. But I do need some E85, so let's fill this turd up. All right, since I won't know till I get home if it'll restart, I'm just gonna leave it running and get some gas. All right, put some corn in this bitch. Oh yeah, God, freaking ridiculous. It was like $1.80 back right after Christmas. Yeah, 309. Freaking ridiculous. Oh well. Yeah, so like I was saying, guys, it's kind of an odd issue. And one thing I've also noticed is on the Dakota Digital, it'll flash up that it's only got like 8 volts. And so another thing we did today is go ahead and test the battery. And I've got a big ass battery in this car. I can't remember the exact number on it, but it's a big ass battery and it's brand freaking new. So it's not a battery issue. I don't know. I guess we'll know in a minute once we get it home. If you guys watched the last video where I did kind of an in-depth review on Alex's car, the other giveaway Fox body, I try to make it very clear to, because a lot of people just don't understand, there we go, sport mode, that regardless how much time and money and everything else you put into a new build, you're gonna have problems. Like, it doesn't matter how much you take your time, how much you think you did it right. all this other crap, you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have bugs. You're gonna have stuff where, you know, parts that, you know, fall apart straight out of the box or fail to work, you know, shortly after the fact. And that's just part of it. You know, and these cars are no different. It can be frustrating, yes, to do all the work and spend all the money and you still run into problems, but like I said, that's just cars. You got a lot of aftermarket parts and making big power and doing all this other stuff. You know, just is what it is. It's like my buddy Kevin's car. It's been done a long time. He's still constantly working on it. If you don't want to have to work on it and you don't want problems, you don't have any business in an old car. It just, I don't care if everything's new. Part of life. But that's also part of the fun. Working on them is part of the fun. Well, to most people. All right. Made it home. Will she start? I don't know. All right, so cut it off. I didn't, you know, it's plenty hot today, so, you know, this is as good a test as any. So let's see what we got here. I'm gonna try. If it doesn't start, I want to show the volt gauge. Oh! Fired right up. Okay. That's weird. Okay. I think we might have fixed it. Let's see. Temp's good. The voltage is solid. I mean, we're sitting right at 14 volts. Wasn't an alternator issue. Try it one more time just to be sure. Yeah. Good to go. So it's plenty hot all the way back from the shop. Let it sit there and idle while we got gas. And it's like 100 degrees today. Yeah, she's plenty hot. So even though I feel like it's probably good, it's one of those where I don't want to risk it ever, because you never know. So I think we're going to do two things. The first thing is I'm going to put a heat shield around the starter, just for own peace of mind. Maybe these newer starters are weaker. I don't know. We've never had problems. This car, especially with the old combo, long tubes, never had a problem. So I'm gonna do that, and I think we're gonna put a 0 gauge power and ground on the starter as well, because I think it's 4 gauge or 6 gauge, one of the two. I mean, it a lot bigger than you would get OE in a car, but again, just for my own peace of mind. One thing to note, the intercooler pump does start with the key, which is, you know, how they recommend wiring it. So, you know, it's got a decent amount of load on it when it starts. Either way, that's going to be for my own peace of mind, because I don't ever want to have any issues, especially once the winter gets it. I don't want them to deal with anything that, you know, I can easily take care of now. So one other update, my buddy, brother Tom, he saw the video a while back where I was looking at options as far as a breather setup or something to control the oil from coming out of the breather. He sent me these bad boys he had sitting around from, I guess, All Star Performance, but it's basically a freaking sweatband, and I haven't driven it yet, but I think that's gonna work perfect. It's a good temporary fix. Gonna keep the oil off the headers. He sent me a couple actually, so shout out to brother Tom. But what I think I'm gonna do here shortly is I'm gonna pull both the valve covers and have probably some Dash 8 bungs welded into them, and then get them repainted because the paint's starting to crack and look kind of crappy from the heat. I don't know, may powder coat them. And then do a breather setup, a good proper breather setup, and I think that'll solve our issues for good. So yeah, good news. I still gotta swap the fluid in the TKX and to order some drag radials. All right guys, a little bit of housekeeping though. I am going to Detroit for Motor City Fox Fest next week. So super stoked to see all of you guys at Motor City Fox Fest in Detroit. Look them up on Facebook if you're not aware. If you're anywhere near the Detroit area, or even if you're not, you need to be at Motor City Fox Fest. It's gonna be a good time. And we're also getting closer and closer to Ford Takeover X. So crazy time of year, guys. We got all manner of evil going on. But again, hope to see all you guys there and at Ford Takeover. It's gonna be a freaking epic time. If you have not signed up for the Ultimate member, I don't know what you're doing. Can't make it any better. These cars are absolutely ridiculous. And our entire Gen 1 Lightning build series is on the Ultimate member page. It will not be posted to YouTube or Facebook. So if you want to catch up with all of that and get in on the Ultimate giveaways, you need to be an Ultimate member. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please drop me a big thumbs up. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. I'll catch you on the next one.